Hey guys, we're on Survivor Australia, season 9, episode 13. All right. Last time we had our boy Benny going at a fire making challenge against what is her name? Melissa, I believe. She's part of the twins. I think it's Melissa and Michelle. All right. They were going against they were going up in a fire making challenge. Ben was trying to build a fire. Melissa was trying to burn the rope. The goal is burn the rope. And he was spending a lot of time nurturing a fire instead of trying to meet the goal. And that is why he lost. You always got to focus on the goal. If there's a faster way to get to the goal, then just do that instead of doing what you think you should be doing to win the challenge. It's anyways, Ben goes home. His girlfriend Shay is very disappointed. So we come to this this episode, and everyone is feeling fine. Everybody's kumbaya. They're looking forward to the merge and seeing their loved ones. All right. They get to the competition, and it is in fact merge. They finally made it to merge. Everyone is merged under the same tribe, and they have the first competition right after they merge. They have the first competition, and it's a reward competition, and the prize is $60,000. I mean, that's the competition you want to win, because winning the entire game is a toss-up at this point. You want to win that first competition. So looking forward to that. All right. They haven't named a new tribe yet. It's just a first competition. All right. And the competition looks like this. It's like this. So it's basically just a balancing. You just sort of hold the rope. You go, you get your puzzle piece over here, and you crawl back while balancing the piece that's already there. And then you stack your pieces to build the puzzle. And it's a sort of pyramid. All right. So it's just a balancing act, just a classic Survivor competition, just balancing on the rope and solving a puzzle. All right. It's usually like letter stacking blocks, but this time it's just a pyramid puzzle. All right. All right. So we're going to just skip to the winner of the competition, because it was close for a minute there, but a lot of people just started dropping. But in the end, the one that had the clear lead was in fact Khan. All right, there were some people close to him, but there were 2 puzzle pieces behind him, because the people that were in front of him, I believe, was Shay, and she dropped somewhere along the line. She was like 2 pieces in front of him, and then she dropped like 3 of her pieces, and he ended up being the lead. All right. And as you can see right here, there's Khan right there, finishing up his puzzle. All right. And that's when he won that 60 grand right there. And if you've watched the previous reviews, you know that I'm rooting for Khan. So as soon as he wins that, I'm thinking he either has to win the individual immunity or play his idol to keep himself safe, because he's just won 2 in a row now competitions, because he won the last competition, but he gave his immunity to Sam, but he still won that. So that's 2 in a row when it comes to individual competition so far. All right. So you won the reward of 60 grand, and they have a merge feast after that. All right, classic merge feast. Right away, Everyone is happy because they get to eat and they're all just forming new alliances. And right away, Jordy talks to his brother Jesse, tells him about Mark's idol. The only people right now on the tribes that have an idol is Mark and Khan. That's the only two that has idol. The rest of them either use them. In case of Croc, he went home with the idol in his pocket. So there's only two idols in play at the moment. All right. So for some reason, the twins, Melissa and Michelle, they want to get rid of Shay, which doesn't make sense to me because both of them were pretty much at the bottom of their alliances. And now that they're together, they don't have any sway. So why would they want to go after Shay, who has no one and she's by herself and everyone else sees her as a threat? I would want to keep her in the game or at least work with her, you know? All right. And then there was a situation where Jordy, first, Mark and his wife, Sam, start strategizing and start talking to each other and, figuring out where their alliances lie and where they are sort of going to rest their hat. So Mark has an alliance of all the guys, which is Josh, his cousin Jordan, and then there's now Jordy and not Jordy, and then who else is there? I think David. No, David's not included in that. I think they work with David, but they don't really trust him like that. All right. So, and then Mark. So what was that, like 4? Mark. So that's 4 people, right? And they add their loved ones, Sam and Jesse, which is Jordy's brother, and Sam is Mark's wife. So that's 6. That's a 6 strong alliance that they have. And Sam also has Khan that she trusts because he gave her that immunity. And Jesse kind of also trusts Khan because they've kind of worked together. But Mark was always had it out for Khan, but they kind of switched tribes, so he didn't get a chance to enact his plan to get rid of him. He doesn't trust Khan, and I think that's all for they just have that strong 6 and they're working with other people. I think like that strong 6 is all couples. All loved ones. The only loved ones that are left out of that strong alliance is the twins, Melissa and Michelle. All right, and everybody else is just singles that they can just sort of scoop up. All right. But after they strategize and they talk to each other about what's going on, then Jordy has a conversation right here. He has a conversation with Sam, and he's talking, and he says, now that we're together, we can use his idol, and that'll get us further in the game. And Sam is like, whose idol? Jordy's like, Mark. She's like, he has an idol? So Mark was dedicated to keeping his idol a secret because he didn't want to increase the threat on himself. And there's a chance that even if he tells his wife, there's a chance she can reveal it to other people. But then Jordy went and revealed it to her, and now she's upset that he didn't tell her. It was such a weird thing for him to do because someone already knows about it. It didn't make sense. And then when she confronts him about it, he says, "Aren't you proud of me?" Um, weird dude, this Mark, man. Just a weird dude. I think he's a little socially inept, if I'm going to be honest with you. Uh, just he just sort of has all these plans in his head, and he's ready to execute it, and just get his blinders on, and he's just not really thinking straight, which is crazy because he was a commander in the special forces. So, well, I guess that sort of regimented thinking sort of helps in that sort of occupation. But yo, and so that happened. She confronts him. Everyone is planning out who they want to get rid of, and they're thinking about voting out Shay. And that is before the immunity competition. Everyone's thinking about getting rid of Shay. Everyone's on board with that except for Shay, obviously. All right, because they consider Shay a threat. So we get to the immunity competition. All right. It looks like a list right here. All right. As you can see, the buckets above their heads with water in it. All right. Try to get a better view, but they're going to be standing here holding up a pole attached to a string. And that's going to keep the water from falling on them. And if they drop it too low, the water falls and they're out of the competition. Let's see if I can get a better image of it. Give me a close up. Oops. All right. All right. It looks like that. Just sort of holding up the bar right there. And the weight on the bar is, I believe, is 35% of your body weight, which means in this competition, it pays to be slim. All right. If you're strong but light, then this competition is pretty much for you, which means Shay, who is the smallest and one of the strongest females. See Shay right there. She's obviously very small and she's very fit. Pretty much has this competition in the bag. And people are going after her, so she wants to win this. All right. But a couple minutes into this competition, a lot of people dropped. But then Shay got distracted when Jonathan was talking to KJ. KJ asked him, does my biceps look good? And he says, yes, they look good. And Shay looks over, gets distracted, and drops the bucket on her head. Pretty much just sealing her fate. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, she had it in the bag and she couldn't do it. But in the end, it came down between two people, and that is Jesse right here. Jesse. All right. Let me see. Rainbow socks. I didn't notice that. That's ridiculous. I think he also has a rainbow hat. I remember him wearing a hat. So he has a hat that matches those ugly socks. That is, wow. That is a goofy dude. And here, and that's KJ. So it came down between those two, but in the end, it was Jesse that won the competition because he's one of the well, skinnier dudes, so he's probably lighter. I don't think he's the smallest, I think he's taller than Khan, but he weighs less than him. So he's probably one of the skinny dudes. So this competition was in the bag for him as well. I think the only one that could have beat him was Shay, but then she did something stupid. So he won individual immunity. Not that he needed it, but he won that. All right, so they go back to the tribe, and the big alliance of the guys, they want to split the votes between Khan and Mel. No. They wanted to split the votes between Mel and Shay, not Khan. And then Mark got them to switch it between Khan and Mel. But Sam, Jesse, and Khan wanted to split the votes between they didn't want to split the votes at all. They wanted to put all the votes on Shay because they believed she was a threat, and then became the whole conflict where Mark and Sam wanted different things, and they ended up in a huge argument about what they're going to go and what they're going to do. All right, and Khan is going around. He's trying to get everybody on board to vote out Shay, and he talked to the twins, Melissa and Michelle. They both wanted to get rid of Shay, so that was a good conversation right there. He also, who else did he talk to? I mean, he talked to KJ, and KJ and Shay already had some conflict, so that was also a good move there. The only problem I can see for him is just that there's a big alliance that's trying to get rid of him. So yeah, if I was him, I would have just played the idol just to be safe, especially since he just won money already. Like, play it safe. Don't, you know what I mean? Don't take chances in your game. All right, so everyone is sort of debating back and forth what they're going to do because Mark and Sam is not on the same page. And Mark is telling Sam she needs to vote this way because they have to show that they're with the group that they just joined. He's saying to her, you don't really need Khan anymore, even though she says she trusts him. You don't really need Khan anymore because now you're part of this big alliance that we have with the guys. And she's saying, I trust Khan. There's no reason to get rid of him right now. All right. And Mark is like, he's a big threat. And she's like, well, he's a big threat that is on our side. So I believe her argument was correct because Mark is not aware of the threat that Jordy poses to him going down the line. And those guys are more likely to turn on him as soon as Jordy put his plan into play. And keeping Khan around was actually better for their game. And I believe Sam was correct in this situation. All right. So we go to tribal. Mark is dropping a lot of hints to Sam as to where she should vote. Sam is dropping hints to Khan that she's going to stick to how she said she was going to vote. She's saying she's going to be loyal and she's going to vote the way that she said she was going to vote. All right. So and that hint could work both ways. It could work for her big alliance with the guys and for her alliance with Khan. So they were sort of playing back and forth in that. And Khan was talking about you can't really trust anyone in this game, but you have to try. And that's what he was speaking about, how he's just going to blindly trust people. And it's ridiculous. And I could see his blind side coming. All right. And they go to the vote. Everyone votes. Say, does anyone have a hidden immunity idol? Khan doesn't play his idol. All right. The votes are read. And this is where Khan gets nervous because there are only 2 votes for Shay. And he's like, one of the votes is him. Who's the other one? The twins obviously didn't do it because there's 2 of them. So the other one is probably KJ. So it's probably only Khan and KJ voting for Shay. And then there are 4 votes on Mel. 4 votes on Mel. And that all happens way before Khan's name even comes up. And then they come to Khan, and every other vote is Khan, and Khan gets voted out with an idol in his pocket. But with 60 grand though. And he's the first member of the jury. He disappointed me, yes, but at least he got 60 grand out of it, you know? That was just bad gameplay. He went out like Croc, just not as broke. But I don't know, who am I going to root for now? I'm going to have to root for Jordy though, at this point. Mark and Sam, I think they're each other's worst enemy in this game. Sam's very tricky. Sorry, Sam is very tricky, but I don't think anyone really trusts her that much. A lot of people seem to trust her, but when it really comes down to it, I'm pretty sure they're going to get rid of her before anything. Especially now that she's with Mark, that just increased the threat level on both of them. So probably going to go home. And Mark got a lot of tunnel vision going on. So I can't really root for them. I don't see them going deep into the game unless something really goes their way. So I'm going to have to root for Jordy at the moment. And Shay just survived that vote, but she's going to have to start winning because I don't think she's going to survive another one. And people need to start looking for idols. God damn it. Like, look, 2 idols, people just went home with them in their pockets. No one's looking. All right. So until next time.